Hey guys, it's Cthulthu here. I've decided that I want to do another price check on my bank, the Slayer/Resource tab. The reason being, tomorrow Invention comes out, and I want to have this recorded because I feel as if this might change quite a bit if I decide to start using the resources that I have in this tab for Invention, for dismantling, for the items and whatever that I need for the skill. So I wanted to get this done shortly before, because we are now 24 hours, well, less than 24 hours away from the release of Invention. So I've already got my first tab created. Now, the last time I PC'd this in the last video, for some reason it said 8 million. I'm sure I got it wrong, so that's unfortunate, so I can't compare. But right now, these items are worth 65.2 million, and obviously one of each still in the bank. So 65 million, that's what I classified last time as Slayer drops. It does not include the Triskelion keys. It also doesn't include the cash. Last time the cash pile was 225 mil. This time it's 227 mil. So I'm not entirely sure what happened with those two. It doesn't make sense that I only gained 2 mil in cash. I mean, I do buy items every now and again with that cash, but then the items go back in the bank. But the only thing I do that with is seed. So I don't know entirely what's happened with the cash pile. I also don't know how I've gone from 8 mil to 65 mil in Slayer drops. That doesn't make sense. I have to watch the last video, I guess, to understand what I actually PC'd. This will make sense. This is simply just the ores in my bank. I've clicked the wrong button. These are just the ores in my bank, and there you go, 902 million. Again, that seems wrong. I thought it was 950. This was the only thing I PC'd actually before I started this video, just to see what the comparison was like. Last time I did this, we were at 350 mil. Now we're 902 mil. Again, that's just basically Runite and the coal. That's from a mixture of spring cleaner and harmonized ore. Every time I make one of these videos and I talk about my ores, I always talk about harmonized ore. Please watch that video if you haven't already. Not for my sake, don't care about for me. It is for your sake. It is such great money as long as you have the right mining level, which I think has to be 95. Harmed ore is just incredible money, and it's pretty much AFK. Well, actually, yeah, when I say it, it's the two combined. It's not the fact that it's 2 million an hour. It's the fact that it's also AFKable, and it's pretty nice. 278 mil in bars. What was that last time? It was 99 million last time. So we've gained 178 million in terms of bars. I'm not going to be talking as much about where all these items come from. I've done that in some previous videos. So if this is the first time you're watching this video, then I suggest you watch a previous bank video, and there I pretty much explain where I'm getting these items from. Now, what was this? This was logs and planks, so I will include the planks. I think there may have been some changes in the way that I've structured my bank as well. The last time I remember having Saradomin wine, and I don't have that anymore. So this is coming out at 82.2 million. The logs are just not worth that much anymore. Let's see. Yeah, Magic 791, used 208. That's disappointing. Last time it valued at 51 million. So 82 now. Not much of an increase. In fact, what is that? That's 31 million, I think it is. So there we go. Right, now this is where it's going to be different. What did I classify this as? I classified this as food. So wine of Zami. Oh, no, got to note it. Right, so yeah, this is going to be different. This is going to be lower. Because I definitely sold my Saradomin wines. At least I think I did the last time I did this. And it doesn't make sense to me that this would be worth that much. It's certainly not worth an independent PC. But we're going to do it anyway. It came out last time at 10 million. Actually, yeah, no, that seems to correspond. So maybe I did sell those wines beforehand. 10 million. And now it's worth... what the fuck? 82.5. I can't remember if the Guthix wines were there. Not the Guthix wines, the Zamarok wines were there. 82.5 million compared to 10 million last time. I don't know if that's accurate. What is it with without the wine, actually? Maybe that might be more accurate. The other thing is, I think I removed Rocktails as well, because I went back to a little bit of cooking. 24 million. That seems to make more sense, that it went from 10 to 24 million. So maybe the Zamarok wines weren't in that category the last time. Moving on, we've got keys and gems. Right, so keys, here we go. I used about 100 keys not long ago. I'm not sure if I actually bought them to use them or whether I just used the ones I had. I think I pretty much just used the ones that I had, but only 100 of them to open chests. And it worked out quite nicely for me, actually. I got a gemstone piece. I think it was the helmet. I'm not entirely sure what it sold for, but regardless, for the fact that I was just using 100 keys just for fun, see how it went very well. So there we go, 168 million. It used to be worth 80 million. So we've seen that double in growth. That is awesome. And that's actually pretty surprising. The last time I PC'd, I must have had 120 Slayer by then. And 100, you get a lot of gems from Abyssal Demons, which is what I was killing at the time. So I'm surprised it's still managed to double, even though I haven't slayed as much. Having said that, I probably have slayed quite a considerable amount. I'm just not entirely sure. Moving on, I think this is just exclusively hides before we go into bones and ashes. Yep, it is just hides. Last time it was 34 million. I don't expect this to have grown much. But let's see, 34 million. It's now worth 80 million. I am starting to wonder whether this is because of quantity or whether this is just because of price growth. Actually, I say that, and I know that there was definitely price growth with hides. I know that, for example, green D hides used to be worth 1,700 because I used to merch them. They are now worth 2.3. My god, that's incredible. So yeah, it's a bit of both. I'm sure the quantity is actually probably the least that has changed. It's probably actually just how much it's worth now that's changed. I think it changed ever since we got those crafters and those Fletcher portables. So moving on, bones. Now this might have gone downwards. I think I've got more bones, but it's Errot bones I've actually been using. Right, can't take chewed bones, I should know that. How many do I have? I have 20 chewed bones now, so that's pretty nice. Right then, so bones, last time they were worth bones and ashes 74 million. They are now worth 87. Yep, that's not surprising at all. I'm pretty sure I had about 6k Errats the last time we did this PC, but because I've been using them, I use them every single day of Christmas with the festive aura. Don't know why I'm getting that out. Right, I better actually check what this one's called. This one is called Bolts, yeah. I thought that would be worth checking, because I might have just collected the arrows with it as well. So, again, will this have changed much? I think so. I think I've had a decent amount of Onyx Bolt drops, so I guess it should have changed to an extent. I'm going to include these Wyvern Spines, which were never there before. Oh, and actually this, Ascendi Bolts. I will be including the bolt tips in this one as well. But yeah, lots of Hydrix bolts that would never have been there before. I'm going to leave it at that. So, last time it was bolts 53 million. That's certainly, well, no, I would think it's grown. 53 million. There we go. It's doubled, 112. So that is a sizable gain. Right, moving on to arrows. Right, let me quickly check the price first. Arrows was at 12 million last time. Now I'm going to include these darts. Basically anything that's not a bolt will be included in this one, or at least it should be if I have all these items ordered correctly. Iron, steel, will this have increased much? Not to my memory. I can't remember getting an awful lot of any of these. Dragon arrows, I think that's a new addition. Dark arrows, wild arrows, and Araxites. Oh, do I include that? Yeah, I think I include that. The Boltrax. Right, here we go. Last time it was 12 million. This time it is 18.2 million. Not a surprise. It's increased by 50% basically. So, not bad. Now, this is where it starts to get a bit hard. Okay, Orbs and Talismans. So, yeah, actually, no, this is straightforward at least. But I do believe it starts to get complicated in terms of being able to compare the PCs from here on out. So, Fire Orbs, Water Talismans, Death Talismans. I've been picking them up a little bit now again. I don't know why, to be honest with you. They're not really worth picking up from Dark Beasts. It is worth 73.1 million. That is surprising. Didn't think it was worth that much. Last time it was 43 million. Okay then, so a growth of 30 million in terms of Orbs and Talismans. Right, where are we going now? We are going Tree Seeds, apparently. Even though we've got some random runes here, let's just have a look at the random runes, except I can't do it like that. In fact, let's not PC that, let's just look at the value. The value is 31 GP each, so that times 31, you can do the maths. Right, what was this again? This was tree seeds. Now, what does tree seeds... I think tree seeds probably includes everything. I'm not going to include the morchellas, actually. All the snapes. I will include the watermelon seeds. Basically, I want to include pretty much everything except for the herb seeds, because I think that's what I would have done last time. I don't think I actually skipped anything during the PC, so I'm sure there were some random items of things that maybe you wouldn't have expected to be included. There we go. You know what? Just do it anyway. Whatever. It's the same as last time. In fact, I'm going to take this and just do it independently. Again, what the hell? Oh, right. I still haven't noted them, have I? I hate it when I get time wasted like that. Just because I want to try and make this video as short as possible, even though it's not really ever going to be short. Right. Runes independently. God. Oh, my God, again. Right, here we go, there we go, 14.1 million, not bad, and then also, you know what, I shouldn't have done that, just put everything in and take away the thing. Right, so we are, 38.9 million, and that was compared to 32 million last time, so 7 million in growth, not too bad. Again, I can't say that it didn't include the runes, I don't know what the runes were included in, I would have thought I'd put it in the talismans and orbs. So maybe we just include 11 million on that. Right, now, seeds. Seeds. Now, recently I've been growing toad flax, as you will notice very, very soon when I start to PC my herbs. Or in fact, you can just see the numbers anyway. But yeah, you'll see that I've actually been doing toad flax recently. Toad flax seeds will be one of those things where I've bought them, but then I've taken the money out. But the amount of money that I've taken out for them is literally nothing. There we go, 100 GP each, they're worthless. In fact, seeds just altogether seem to be pretty much worthless. I don't think this was worth as much as it was last time. 5.5 million, and last time it was. This is the one I'm expecting to have dropped. Herb seed, 13 million. Yet they more than halved in price. That is ridiculous, that is. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a drop here as well. Just generally speaking, herbs have been dropping like crazy, and yeah, it's not fun to watch when you've got this kind of quantity. I mean, this used to be the pride of my Slayer resource tab, but yeah, Orbs have taken it over in a big way. Orbs and oh crap, I've done that, haven't I? Never mind, we'll correct that later. I've just taken all of them instead of all but one. What was I going to say? Yeah, so Orbs and bars have taken over the pride of this bank, given that they're worth, well, the ores were worth 900 mil just now, weren't they? I can't remember what the bars were. I think 225 or something like that. So, I am expecting an increase, but I'm also expecting a little bit of a drop in some herbs. So, altogether, a marginal gain. 738 million. Last time it was 414 million, so I'm completely wrong. It's almost double in price. Double in price would be 828 mil, right? 828 mil, where is it? There we go, yeah, it would have been 828 and we were 738 or something like that. So it's not too far away from a double, so there you go. Now, D-Full-Helm, wow. As you can tell, I do not use my bone, so where the hell did this D-Full come from? It came from, just like the two dragon chains for that matter, came from Motherlode Moor. I couldn't believe it, and it only happened a few days ago as well. I just couldn't believe I got that drop. It's worth 8 million. Unfortunately, it's not going to be included in the in this price check, because the rule is never ever include every item. It's all but one. It's always all but one. So that is 8 million that will have to be unaccounted for. It's only really an issue when it comes to Slayer drops, and then obviously, I guess, in this case, the Dragon drops. Now, last time, Dragon drops were worth 10 million. That's it, 10 million. I expect it to have grown 25.9, basically 26 million. Yet, that's a lovely growth there. Now, Rune. Again, this is one of the ones where there will obviously be growth, because the price of Rune items is fairly consistent, so it's just about gaining, and there are always going to be Rune gains. However, there are never going to be as many Rune gains as maybe 2 years ago, because of the Spring Cleaner. So there will be a gain, it's just it won't be as much as it could have been, because most of it is represented by rune ore and coal that I have in the ores department. So let's see, we've got a hell of a lot of rune items. A lot of these are coming from things like Beastmaster and Yakamaru now. So great source of rune items. Are we nearly there? Yes, we are. And we've got 3 spaces to spare. That must be... No, that's rune as well. Oh, God, it keeps going. I thought we hit Addy. Oh, shit. Where are we? I have no idea how I managed to do that. What have I done? I swear there was one item I was about to get, and I've just lost it. Have I lost it into the runes tab now? I have no idea what happened to that pile. There's also actually a small pile of rune drops here. Rune Warhammer. Let's take the pickaxes, shall we? Pickaxes, rune warhammers. This, by the way, is my clues tab, as you can tell by the clue, and the fact that they're all clue items. So yeah, that's the first time I've included that pile, actually. 158 million, and that is comparing it to 73 million from last time. So we saw a double growth. It would have to be 146 million for it to be double, and we exceeded that as well. So that is awesome. Addy now. What was Addy last time? Addy was 2 million. That is pathetic. I don't even know if I want to PC Addy. Let's have a look. No, we're not going to PC Addy. Right. Yeah, there were just some things that are just a waste of time. So what did I do? I didn't even... Did I? Yeah, I did do Addy. Ah, there we go. So the Zamorak wines were not included in the food last time. I had an independent valuation for the wines. The wines came out at 70 million. Now they're obviously far less because the Gothics and Saradomian wines have gone. That then moves us to, it says here, sea balls and battle staves. Oh, I've been using my cannonballs and battle staves though. I think I'm just going to do one almighty price check now, and we're going to exclude some items here. So if I don't feel they're worth much, I'm just going to not include them. I mean, you can see for yourself what I'm hovering over. I'll hover them just a little bit slower in case you're interested. Region bracelets, I guess we'll include them just because they're a mediocre drop. Crush nests, definitely including them. I've been getting these bird nests from the second tier of the farmer's hat. You get 4 nests every single day from it, so I'm doing that. White berries, probably not worth much. Let's include it anyway. Desert, unicorn horn, dragon scales. What were there any other miscellaneous raw materials, miscellaneous armor, familiars and random? Could do familiars and random by itself. Where were we? So ashes, right? Soda ash, leave that alone. Cactus spine definitely included. Spikes are included. Moschella definitely. Potato cactus definitely. Papaya of course without any doubt whatsoever. Coconuts too. Should we take this? I've still got plenty of space in my inventory, so we'll take all this as well. The flax is a nice number, fairly cheap, but still we'll include it. We'll include the that stuff as well, whatever it was that I just took. Molten glass as well. Should we include these? Why not, I guess? No harm in doing so. We'll leave the familiars alone. There are more familiars in other tabs that I'll price check as well. Dwarven stout, these are all rubbish, aren't they now? I mean, they're worth something, but they're just not worth enough for me to put in here. That's it. I've got 69k techie. I'll probably spend that today, actually. That'll be two of those codexes, and codex will be worth a decent amount. Pie shells, that's also from the second tier of cooking, the cooking hat. So, yeah, let's just leave it at that. Now, let's quickly go over what it was. So, all those items together, the Addy items was 2 million. The cannonballs and the battle staffs were 19 million. Miscellaneous armor was 2 million. The miscellaneous raw materials, so that's where the coconuts and everything will come in, that was 150 million. And the familiar and random I put. I don't know what random will mean though, which is really annoying. So we're just going to have to ignore that altogether. But basically 150, 152, 181. No, that can't be right. 21, 171, 173. Right, so if we're going to beat, this selection beats the whole of the selection from last time, it needs to beat 173. There we go, 412 million. Of course it was going to be. I mean, with the coconuts, with the spines, with the Moschella mushrooms, with the spines, there we go. 24, 114, 130 in coconuts. What is the other big pile? There must be another. There we go. 25 million in crushed nests. Partly why I'm doing toadflax, by the way, because just everything's going into crushed nest right now. So I figure hopefully one day it will rebalance with toadflax as well. Yeah, it's hard to see where the money is, isn't it? But 412 million is apparently what that is. Now, this is going to be meaningless. I said 35 million for familiars. I didn't realise it said random as well. It said familiars and random. So this is just going to have to be familiars, unfortunately. Now, there are a couple of other stacks I want to get, not the nihils. The nihils, sorry, not the shadow, rather. The shadow I bought. Some of them are made, some of them are bought. But all of the ones that I've now got in my inventory are definitely made. 27.8 million. So we're 8 million off the familiar and random bit, excluding the random bit. So there we go, guys. I'm not going to do a total price check for you of this entire tab. If you want to work that out, you've got enough ammunition to go ahead and do so. But there we go. I think that's everything I wanted to say. I mean, basically, the last time we did do this valuation, it came out as 1.5 billion. 1.5 billion, and with the ores, which was 900 million, and with that last tab that you just saw worth 400 million, that's 1.3 right there. The bars easily make it 1.5. Basically, ores, bars, and what I just had in that last tab, everything else is surplus. Everything else is basically representative of an increase the last time I did my bank value. There we go, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. That is where the Slayer Resource tab is. I don't know if it will still look anywhere near the same after Invention is released. Obviously, I'm going for 120 Invention. I don't have the time to get it as quickly as other people will, which is really disappointing, because I'd love to be in the race to get 120 Invention. It's really something that I would love to do, especially given that I've got enough money to do it. I'm sure if it is a Bible skill, which it will be, I'm sure I have enough money to have been among the top 100, well, sorry, top maybe 100 to get 120 and maybe even beyond. That's not going to happen though. I just don't have the hours with work. So there you go, guys. Another piece of Cthulhu history or Cthulhu history recorded. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see ya around.